Greedy corporations will always be greedy, and today we have another example in the gaming industry of why we need to be on our toes. There has been a lot of stuff towards the Unity engine. They have basically revealed a new pricing model. With every install you need to pay a fee, at least the developers need to pay a fee. Let's talk all about that in today's video, so sit back, relax, enjoy, and take the pitchforks out with you this time. So normally I talk about video game leaks, rumors, that type of stuff, but the original purpose of the Get Rekt channel was actually towards pro-consumer news. And when something non-pro consumer would happen, I would make a video on that. So today we're going to do that. I'm going to take my pitchfork. I don't have one with me here, but I will take one soon. Because Unity has been doing some absolute garbage policy changes towards indie game developers. Basically, they want to charge every time a game gets installed with a fee towards the developers. So every time a game gets installed towards a PC or a mobile device with a game that's made in Unity engine, you will have to pay a fee. At least the developers will have to. And of course, a lot of indie game developers weren't really happy with that news, which is very understandable, and a lot of outrage just happened on social media. Now, Unity engine has been walking back those policy changes somewhat to get the fire a little bit down online on the discourse, but it's still a very shitty situation. Let's talk all about the details. So, a famous example of a game made in Unity, Cult of the Lamb, they basically tweeted out, we will delete the game off our stores, so buy it now coming January 1st, because that's when the policies will come into effect. That was before the update though from Unity, so maybe they will change their plans a little bit about that. But basically, Cult of the Lamb is a pretty big indie game by Massive Monsters, a studio known for a lot of indie games, and Devolver Digital being a big publisher. And there are many more studios like Massive Monster that are very angry. Big examples of games being made in Unity. Bomb Rush Cyberfunk, I reviewed that recently, is also made in Unity engine, as well as Sea of Stars, another big indie game that came out not too long ago that also runs on Unity. There are many games in Unity that run on this engine. So the CEO at Unity is a very known guy, Tiello. I don't know if I butcher his name now, but this guy used to also work for EA. And he came with the fantastic idea that for every time in Battlefield when you reload, you should pay money. Like $1 for every reload. So that's the same guy, just giving some background information, that is now the CEO of Unity. And he has been selling his shares right before this news dropped. So it's all very sketchy. But let's get to that statement now from Unity. We want to acknowledge the confusion and frustration we heard after we announced our new runtime fee policy. We'd like to clarify some of your top questions and concerns. Who is impacted by the price increase? The price increase is very targeted. In fact, more than 90% of our customers will not be affected by this change. Customers who will be impacted are generally those who have found a substantial scale in downloads and revenue and have reached both our install and revenue thresholds. This means a no fee for creators who have not found scale success yet, and a modest one-time fee for those who have. Max from the future here, because I have a little update. We actually do know the runtime fee for who that applies right now, what the lifetime install base has to be, and the revenue. So for Unity Personal and Unity Plus, you will need 200,000 USD in revenue, as well as 200,000 lifetime installs. And for Unity Pro and Unity Enterprise, you will need $1 million and 1 million installs. And I can tell you guys, that is a threshold that is absolutely reachable for a lot of these indie game companies. And especially if you have a viral hit, like let's say an Among Us, that's just one example, or like a Rust, that type of stuff, you will get this threshold pretty quickly, I will tell you. Fee on new installs only. Once you meet the 2 install and revenue threshold, you only pay the runtime fee on new installs after January 1st, 2024. It's not perpetual. You only pay once for an install, not an ongoing perpetual license royalty like revenue share model. How we define and count installs. Assuming the install and revenue thresholds are met, we only count net new installs and any device starting January 1st. Additionally, developers are not responsible for paying a runtime fee on reinstall charges. Okay, so they did change that. It's just the first install, which is still bad, but okay. At the first install, you will have to pay a fee. Fraudulent installs charges. We are not going to charge a fee for fraudulent installs. We will work directly with you on cases where fraud or botnets are suspected of malicious intent. Games like torrents that are illegal, piracy, that type of stuff, that's what they mean with fraudulent installs. Those will also not count. Trials, partial play demos, and automation installs, we are not going to count these towards your install. Okay, so early access and demos are also not considered in that category. Web and streaming games, we are not going to count web and streaming games towards your install count either. Charity related installs, the pricing change and install count will not be applied to your charity bundles and initiatives. They cleared some stuff up, but still it's very sketchy how they have been handling this. And this whole update came after all the backlash. So it tells you what type of company this is and the type of people that are behind Unity, with the CEO from EA. You know, I do fear for these indie devs because they are small companies and changes like this overnight can give them bankruptcy. If they have to pay per install, it's gonna cost a lot. Let me know in the comment section down below, guys. What do you guys think of this news? It's just very sad, in my opinion, and greedy. And I just don't stand for this type of stuff whatsoever. And we know Unity has been doing just very bad financially. They have not been doing very well, so that's why they have been doing these practices. I don't think it's a good idea at all. You will just drive away even more customers this way to other engines like Unreal, as an example, to your competitor. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think of this news? Also, this state of play happened. I quickly wanted to talk about that and the Nintendo Direct. So my news was correct. In fact, at least that rumor came from pretty good sources and insiders, so I wasn't really worried about that. We got some pretty interesting stuff from the state of play. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth finally has a release date for February 29th, which is very cool. They showed us some more Spider-Man 2 gameplay overview, that type of stuff, how the open world is going to work, side activities. They got into pretty good detail with that trailer. And with the Nintendo Direct, they showed the Paper Mario remake, the Thousand Doors one. I never played that game, but I'm pretty interested in it. In my opinion, I thought the Nintendo Direct was a little bit meh, and that's just because of the fact that the Nintendo Switch now is very much at the end of its life cycle. You can see it. The games that are now coming out are not very high in quality or budget, and that's because most of the bigger studios are probably now focused for Nintendo on the Nintendo Switch 2 to have launch games like a new 3D Mario is probably in development for the new Switch, probably like a new Zelda as well. There have been some rumors also that the Switch 2 can in fact run DLSS, the newest version from Nvidia, the upscaling technology, as well as the Matrix demo, which is very impressive if that's true. Hardware-wise, it will probably not be as powerful as a Xbox Series S, which is probably understandable because it's a handheld. At some point with the price point, you have to be careful, especially if you want to sell a Nintendo Switch 2 at like a $300-$400 threshold. You can only play with hardware specs in that like very minimal space, maybe a la the Steam Deck. I don't know how expensive the Steam Deck is right now. I think maybe around the same price point. I could be very wrong. I never played the Steam Deck whatsoever. I did expect a bit more from PlayStation towards first party. Of course, they did say it's third party focused, but still no Rise of the Ronin and Stellar Blade, which is pretty weird. I hope we will get updates towards that for Tokyo Game Show. I hope so. Let's do quickly a comment of the day. Rocksuppan, hardcore member of the channel, commented on my Mass Effect video. That's great news for the next Mass Effect game. I love role-playing games. Everyone loves role-playing games, Rocksuppan. I do as well. That's why I mostly talk about RPGs and why I have Todd Howard in the background of my videos. I'm hyped for the next Mass Effect. Really want to see what that's about. If I hear more rumors towards the biggest single-player RPGs, I will of course let you guys know. Thank you guys for watching. As always, like this video if you like it, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more gaming news, rumors, that type of stuff, and leaks. And of course, visit my social media in the description down below. And I will see you guys in the next Get Rekt gaming news video. Bye bye.